Hi, my name is Caldwell. I am a mom of four, wife, sister, mother. I have a 21-year-old, Amia. I have a 7-year-old named Yvonne, a 6-year-old named Pre, and a 4-year-old named Anian. Anian was diagnosed with Down syndrome when I was 15 weeks pregnant, and it's been an adventure ever since.
We live in a world where people hold each other to an unrealistic standard, minimizing room for error. So quick to judge those who are different. But it's our own differences that make us so uniquely made, perfectly blended with beauty and flaws. But if we learn to accept the flaws of others, just maybe we'll embrace our own. What if we gave each other the same grace that we desire when it comes to our own imperfections? Perfect. Down syndrome through our eyes.
I would say there's like the positive and the negative. Like, everyone thinks that the individual with Down syndrome are always happy. They have this personality that just won't stop. I get that from friends. I even get that from from family, that they're always happy. And the other thing, one of the biggest misperceptions is that they are unteachable in education, that they can't learn the same things that everyone else is learning. I think giving the diagnosis and having all of the information regarding the diagnosis, sometimes it's so grim when you receive that information. And information is scarce as far as pretty much when you get the diagnosis, what else needs to be done? Does any interventional service needs to happen? What needs to happen when they're born? And just overall knowledge from doctors. A lot of doctors might give the overall, but they don't have much experience, so they really don't know. So they're given like the general scope of things, which tend to be negative. And I think that's a huge part of what we have to change in the medical system. Just teaching those doctors that deliver the diagnosis, the geneticists, the OBGYNs, even sometimes like the heart doctors. Let's start thinking positively. Let's know that our children with Down syndrome are valued and they have a place in this world, and it's not all negative and it's not all doom and gloom. I think that's huge, and that would change the experience and lives of many families when they receive that diagnosis, to give them a more positive outlook and a more true outlook of what it would be like with their child, who's a baby, just like any other baby. It's like one of those things that you kind of get to know who you are. Because before, I wanted to be in control of everything. I wanted to know what was going to happen. And he gives me a little bit more patience, more adventure, more discovery, especially when you have children that are hitting milestones. So when they say different things that you're trying to teach them, and it might be taking them a long time, you really place value on that, and you really celebrate those things, which sometimes if you have other children that are hitting those milestones regularly, or as predicted, I guess I want to say, that there's not so much celebration. So, you tend to just take more joy in it and take more time in it, and really see your children, all of your children, if you have more than one, for who they are and what they can do, and as individuals. So you don't set limits on them. You just give them the world. So I think that's how he has changed our lives. When there are things that happen that he has accomplished, it's a huge deal. It's not just something that's like, oh, okay, well, that's great, good job. It's a whole production. So I think it gives us a little bit more patience in parenting, more perspective in parenting, better thought processes about how we go about things. And I think we tend to educate ourselves a little bit more, and we learn a lot more about those things that affect our children, and which parents still pay attention to, but sometimes it gets kind of difficult, but you learn how to maneuver, and you learn how to address concerns, and you learn how to address doctors, and you learn how to address schools. So it's like a whole education that's that's happening. So that's definitely changed my life for the better. I think there is, a common perception about what is perfect, what perfect looks like, what perfect sounds like, what perfect does, where perfect goes. And for individuals with Down syndrome, I think sometimes they are placed into a box, and so you want to give them that pause and try to label them as, not typical, not perfect because they don't have all the things that you would think that, they should have. Or it's so much judgment, and it's a hurdle you have to get over, because each person is perfect in their own way. It's however you define perfect, but perfect is not general. It applies to each individual. So I think those, with Down syndrome might feel like they're not perfect because they don't have, they're not maybe on the same track as everyone else, or they may take longer time to do things with a little more instruction, or they don't sound perfect, or they can't get their words perfect, or something like that. So I think it does affect individuals with Down syndrome as well as many other individuals, because our perception of perfect is impossible to attain, because it lies with the individual. So you can't say what's perfect for me, and I can't say what's perfect for you. But as a society, I think we should drop the labels and make sure that we're giving everyone fair chance, and imposing value on everyone. So it's something that does pose some issues when it comes with individuals with Down syndrome.